Okay, so hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, I'm still having issues with my live streaming app. I gotta do everything manually. I'm live in two places. So, give me a second, guys. Un momento, por favor. Un momento. All right, let me go ahead and share this out to it's just so annoying to have to do this manually. But I figure I'll just start going live everywhere all at the same time. Share to group. All right, let's do that. And then on top of that, let me share it out onto my page. Sorry, guys. This is a process. Facebook made it so much harder. All right. Share that there. My goodness. I'm out of breath already. Good morning, Lisa. I'm out of breath at this point. All right, let me switch these out so I can see any trollish comments on Facebooky. All right, guys, if you could please share this out, I would really, really appreciate it. And let's get started. So, I asked what this reading was going to be about, and what I heard, I'm not on my live streaming app, so I can't put it on the screen, is that we need to have a serious conversation. There's some serious conversation that needs to take place. I'm not too sure what the conversation is about, but we're going to be talking. Okay? We need to talk. We just need to talk. We need to have this heart to heart. Let me just drink something. Oh my gosh. Let me shut down the other live on YouTube, because it's still not connecting. And so, let me just let people know Facebook is being a hater. Oh no, YouTube is being a hater. I'm live here. There you go. Let me pin that message. And let me go ahead, edit this video, take that biznatch down. Oh my gosh, you guys. It's been a nutty morning already. Very nutty morning. And not a bad morning, just one that's full of like, what the hell's going on? Oh, wait. Did I put it on the wrong live stream? Okay. Let me just. You guys, I don't know what's going on with my life and my brain. I put it on the live stream that I'm actually on. Like, girl, what are you doing? Hold on. Yo, okay, let me just go to the studio. Okay, we'll go to manage live streams. And let us let's do this. Let's go ahead and enter that. And let's leave a comment. There you go. Pin that there. It refuses to allow itself to connect. So, my gosh, this is just drama. There are things that don't want me to live stream, yo. Keep that unlisted so that way. And then this one should be public. This live stream should be public. The other live stream should not. So anyways, let's get this situated. Okay. All right, guys. Can you hear into me now? Mm, All right. Let me get some cards ready. We need to have a serious conversation. We're just going to break this down today. We're going to break some things down today, and it's just, there's a lot of things going on within people's auric fields. There's a lot of things going on, and people kind of need just some guidance. And that's okay. It's okay if you need guidance. It's okay if you're feeling kind of lost and unsure about choices that you need to make. Okay. We're in a period. I don't know why I say this, but we are in a period where choices are being presented to you. Okay. Choices are being presented to you. And it's something that we need to make sure we're aware of what our options actually are. If you're not aware of what your options are, you need to start making yourself aware, because if not, you're going to get really tripped up. It's a full moon today. See what I'm saying? Golly gee willikers. Golly gee willikers. Golly gee willikers. So as I was saying, trip you up. They go try and trip you up. I don't know who they are. Might be your spiritual team. I don't know. All right. Whew. All right. Let's just breathe. Okay. Let's pull some of these cards. We're pulling from 3 decks. Okay. Passion. There is probably going to be an uptick in the way your passion expresses itself. This is a period where, for many of us, if we're done cycling through uncertainty, then what's going to happen is you're going to experience this sensation of like you are on fire to get something done. And that's going to be different for each person. Whatever it is you're on fire to get done, it's going to be different for each person. And what we need to do as individuals is begin really, really making sure we understand what we are agreeing to, that we have clarity on what we are trying to accomplish. You're not just going to start doing things just because you do something. You know what I mean? Like, that's not what you need to do. What you need to do is know what you're doing, why you're doing it. The why is so important. If you are doing things just to be vindictive to other people, it's kind of like, okay, well, so then now you need to work on yourself. You need to work on yourself. Okay? If you are doing things to avoid conflict and it's something where it's like you really do need to say something at this point, right? You really do need to like maybe call people out on the things that they're doing or whatever it is. This is an opportunity for you to clear out some of that throat chakra blockage that keeps you from speaking your truth. This is a good opportunity for you to really begin to understand how you enable people's toxicity in your life. Did you know that when you don't say something when it needs to be said, all you're doing is guaranteeing that it will continue to get worse until you can't control the way it comes out? Did you know that? Because most of us don't realize this. We think that if we keep quiet, somehow things will improve. And, does it ever really improve? Usually, no. Usually, what ends up happening is, again, you're guaranteeing that it will continue to get worse until you cannot control how it comes out of your mouth. So then it becomes a really, really difficult, really, really bad thing, you know? If you allow yourself to begin speaking some of that out before it becomes an issue, then, it shouldn't be an issue. And I I already know. Someone's going to be like, well, what if I speak my truth and they don't want to listen? Well, then why do you keep talking to them? Right? Why do you keep trying to force them to agree with you when clearly either they are unwilling or incapable? So why do you keep trying to convince someone that you are worth the respect, the consideration if everything they do, their behaviors tell you that they don't believe you are? Believe them when they show you that they don't believe you are worth it. That you're not worth the respect, the consideration, all of that. That's people you need to walk away from. That's people you need to minimize contact with. And what ends up happening as empaths, and especially Piscean empaths, we take that as, "Ooh, this is someone we can heal. This is someone we can fix." I think it's the mindset of wanting to heal or fix people that needs to be fixed. And I used to live with that mindset. I did. I used to live with that mindset. I used to believe that if I find the sickest of the sick people and I just love them, that I can love them into some type of wholeness. They can become whole in my presence. And the only thing that happened was I developed a hole. It created a void within me. This void where I'm giving so much of myself that I'm depleting myself. For what? Because of a savior complex, right? Ooh, I know some of you are like, "Whoa, ouch." It's a savior complex is a savior complex. When you feel like you have to save people, that's a savior complex. No, but I'm doing it out of the goodness of my heart. Okay, but if you're doing it out of the goodness of your heart, why are you not listening to them when they're telling you with their actions they don't want what you are offering? They just don't know any better yet, Emmy. Well, clearly you don't know any better yet either because sovereignty. Sovereignty. The laws of sovereignty stipulate in order to claim your sovereignty, you must respect and uphold the sovereignty of all others. Hey, I don't know if it's being done out of the goodness of your heart. There's a really, really, really important thing that needs to happen here, which is oftentimes when we do things like this and we think we're doing it out of the goodness of our heart, we're really not. Doesn't mean you're a bad person. It means you have insecurities that need to be addressed. And I'm speaking to myself as well. Part of the reason why I recognize this is because I came to a realization my insecurities were the very reason that I, for most of my life, overgave so consistently. I consistently overgave because why? Because I felt like if I wasn't overgiving, I would not be welcoming your space. And so what I was doing was prepaying you to have at least like a little space in your life so that you could allow me to remain in your life. And that came from a place of not understanding the true value of who I am as a person. Now I'm like, you don't want to be around me? That's fine. That's fine. I'm an extremely valuable person in my eyes for myself and my life at this point. Has nothing to do with me comparing or competing with other people. Just because I understand my value for myself, it's not some type of backwards way of saying that I think you're less than me. No. If I think you're less than me, I will tell you straight up to your face, I think you're less than me. But then that would mean I would have to compare myself to you. And I just don't do that. There's no point. You'll never be an Emmy and I'll never be a you. So there's no point. There's just no point. So when you begin to really take these words in and really allow yourself to take a good hard look at your life, your behaviors, you then open yourself up to the potentiality of powerful change. Now, I did hear someone in the comments like, "I can't believe she's trying to say it's my fault. I can't believe you can't take accountability for your life." Yeah. It's part of your problem. You don't take accountability for your life. When you make decisions to be around shady people, they're going to do shady shit to you. Are you saying it's my fault? I'm saying you're making that fucking choice to be around that person. Whose fault is that? If you want to still exist in a space of fault, that's up to you. I'm talking about accountability, which has nothing to do with fault. It has to do with ownership and self empowerment. Honey, you're going to hurt your own feelings if you keep watching my video. I'm just saying. You're going to hurt your own feelings if you keep watching my video because, baby boo, I can say what I say because this is what I've lived through. This is not me being judgmental. This is me sharing my growth. Uh, but, yeah, yeah, that's a thing. That's the actual problem. The actual problem has a lot more to do with you not taking accountability for the things that you do. That does not mean you are a bad person. That means you need to begin actually taking accountability, owning your decisions, understanding that the decisions you've made are the very things that are causing you to go through the type of things you go through. It's very easy. Very, very easy. You don't have to go through this blame game. Okay. You don't have to do any of that. You can simply just acknowledge, okay, when I decided this, that happened. When I decided this, that happened. I didn't like this so much. I'm not going to decide that anymore. I'm not going to choose that. I'll explore this one more. That's accountability. You see how there was no need to attack. There was no need to call yourself dumb. There was no need for any of that ugliness directed at the self. There is a need, though, to understand that when I choose this is most likely going to happen. And unless I think I'm some magical motherfucker that if I choose this is not going to happen. It's going to somehow magically be that. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, maybe you're a mage or maybe you're delusional. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. It is really up to us. It is really up to us to begin holding ourselves accountable for the types of behaviors, the types of results that we get from our decisions. A decision is a decision is a decision, and that's it. It's just a decision. When you can own the fact that you've made this decision, then you can begin growing past it. Hold on really quick, guys. Hey guys, if you cannot hear me, join me on YouTube. There you go. Let's pin that. So, it seems like it seems like Facebook is trying to mute me. That's fine, Biznatch. I will upload this video after I'm done. Anyways, so your passion, become passionate about your growth, about your healing. Allow your passion to be something that helps to cleanse your fears, cleanse any of those distortions. So, invocation, calling in some type of intercessor. Maybe what you're invoking is your highest potentiality. You know what I mean? I sometimes get tired of people constantly feeling, thinking, believing that they have to call in all these other beings in order to get their, soul work done. No, you don't. You don't need to call in any aliens. You don't need to call in any angels. Yes, Archangel Michael talks to me all the time. I don't care. I don't care. This is me, myself, and I right now. Most of the time, it's me, myself, and I. I'm not just simply being instructed and channeling messages. No, it's me, myself, and I am fully capable of being a human in this life. And that's something that we really need to begin accepting. Like, you can't make a decision unless you first have this huge meeting with your spiritual team. Why? 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 I'm sorry, why? You can absolutely make a decision. But what if I choose the wrong thing? There's no such thing as a wrong thing. There's only learning. When you choose an option that's not the best for you learn that it's not the best for you when you experience it. And that's okay. That's a much more potent way of learning than just taking someone's word for it. We have to stop being afraid of learning things firsthand. I've been asked for a very long time, I mean, how did you become so empowered? Because I live. Because I live fully, completely, wholeheartedly. So you've never made any mistakes? Oh, I do all the time. And that's why I learned so much. That's how I learned so much. All of these quote unquote mistakes, they're not mistakes, they're opportunities to learn about myself and learn about what I need to do for myself. So YouTube, I'm going to go ahead and end the live stream on not YouTube, Facebook. I'm going to end the live stream. I'm very, very sorry, guys. It's killing my battery. Ah. I will go ahead and upload this reading onto my business page once it's done. If you want to watch me live and have me see your comments, go over to YouTube. Okay. I posted the link and I pinned it. So if you'd like me to see your comment while I'm live and interact with me, go over to YouTube. All right. Bye, Facebook. La, 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 la. Bye to the Facebook. All right. Let's stay here on YouTube. Oh, prosperity in reverse. There is no way for you to prosper so long as you have your head in the sand. I'm serious. There is no way for you to prosper truly unless you have your head up and you're able to observe your decisions, the direction you're headed, all of that amazing stuff. Dedication in reverse. See? That kind of makes me feel like we are dedicating ourselves to the wrongest things, the most unhealthy things for us. And, I don't know what's healthy for you. I don't know what's right for you. But if things could keep going wrong for you, if you keep feeling like it's blockage after blockage after blockage, baby, please, please hear what your soul is saying. It's saying you're going the wrong way. I have people that I know who they try so hard to make relationships work, right? And it's one thing after another thing after another thing, and they don't want to hear or see any of the reality of what they're living through. I know someone who's in a very toxic relationship, and this person, it really messes with their emotions. Okay. The person they're with really, really messes with their emotions, gives them attitude. And then when they ask that person, like, are you mad at me? Then they break up with him like, you're so insecure. Why do you always ask me that? Well, bitch, if you'd act straight. Well, I'm sorry. I was like, oh hell no. What, why are you apologizing? And that's the thing. It's like one thing after another. And they keep making excuses for their significant other. And it's at a point where it's like, I mean, why do you even ask me for input? Why do you ask me for input? Like, you're just hurting your own feelings by asking me for input. Everything that happens in that relationship is telling you this is not where you're supposed to be. Yet you keep banging your head on the wall, wondering why the wall won't get out of your way. Baby boo, take one step to the side, either side, because it's actually a post. It's not blocking the entire path. You're just choosing to have tunnel vision. And that's what so many of us struggle through. We have this case of tunnel vision, mhm, where you're just seeing this part because you're so focused, and there's a post there, and you're like, oh my God, it's blocked. I can't get through. No, honey, Take one step to either side, left or right. It's totally up to you. And you'll see there's plenty of room on either side to get through. Plenty of room. We have to begin dedicating ourselves to our growth and our healing rather than trying to heal someone. It's just not, that's not how it works. Like, it's not how it works. It's not the same as that statement of, oh, you can't be loved unless you first learn how to love yourself. No, that statement is bullshit. I'm evidence that I can and do deserve love, even when I don't know how to love myself. I've experienced this through my whole marriage. Okay. So that statement is absolute bullshit. Now, how are you going to heal someone if you can't heal yourself first? You're depleted and you're trying to give things away. How is that going to work? You have nothing left to give. So what, you're going to go to someone else and ask them for something to give to someone else, which is what I was doing for quite some time. So now I'm indebted to you because you helped me with that person. And then I'm going to be indebted to this person because they helped me with that person. What's there left for me? Because there was nothing ever really left for me. Look at the ways in which what you choose because of your unrecognized, unacknowledged insecurities and how that affects the way you suffer. Y'all, for like 2 years, 6-figure income, but I was living in a beat up, broken down, 20-something-year-old leaking RV with no toilet and no water. Why the fuck was I consistently broke? Because I literally gave everything away. For what? Because I felt I didn't deserve to keep what I worked for. I literally worked 7 days a week and I gave everything away. Everything. I gave away for what? To prepay for my existence in your life. If that ain't no fucking insecurity like a motherfucker, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. And I had this really distorted belief that if I just gave enough, people would see that I'm a good person. These same motherfuckers that took so much from me, because some people are like bottomless pits. As long as you keep giving, these little birdies will have their mouth open. And they were the birdies that kept singing all the nastiness the moment they couldn't get any more. So, y'all, if you think you're going to be buying your way into people's perceptions, all you're doing is prepaying for bullshit. And I've learned so powerfully. I've learned so powerfully. If you can't accept me with me offering you nothing, motherfucker, get out of my life. I don't care. Oh, I should be scared to lose you? Why? What is so scary about that? What am I losing? A user? I'm not scared to lose you. If you're a user, I'm not scared to lose you at all. Mm. And I'm getting to a point where I'm becoming so empowered in myself and my love for myself that if I detect you're a user, I won't even allow you in. So there's no opportunity for you to get lost. Right? Perfect. Now I do have space, plenty of space for genuine people. For people who really come around because there's this beautiful, mutually beneficial space of growth. That is amazing. That is amazing. To be immersed in an environment where we all genuinely care, where we all genuinely just want the best for other people as well as ourselves. And there's this idea and attempt to grow together. That is powerful. That is beautiful. And it's this thing of like, you guys, all of the people here on YouTube who really haven't gotten the opportunity to see me in my full toxicity of overgiving, overgiving, overgiving for no fucking reason, but I feel like I need to pay you to stay around me. And it was you guys who helped me to learn that I deserve to receive. It's you guys who give so much in support, love, all of these different things. Whatever new project I have, you guys are so supportive. And you guys are really the ones that have helped me to learn, hey, honey, when people can't see the value of you, you just keep going. Just keep going. There are people down the road who not only can see your value, but will appreciate and celebrate it. Ooh, wow. That's freaking amazing. That's amazing. That is so powerful to experience. And it comes from this place of no longer needing that external validation by numbers, right? So I was giving away so much on Facebook, free this, free that, give you literal money, pay for your bills, pay for blah, 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 blah. And, all of this shit. You need something, you let me know. I'll take care of it. I'm a living ATM for people. And, it was like, okay, I'm doing the right thing. I'm doing the right thing because look, people are supporting me. I have a reach of 500,000 organic. Like, I'm doing the right thing. Yeah, of course they're going to share it out if they're going to get something for free. Yeah, of course they're going to share it out to their friends who also want something for free. Of course. So it's a whole game of manipulation. I manipulate you, you manipulate me. We just a manipulative pair, aren't we? And that's what I learned I was participating in. That is what I created and sustained. I'm not saying these people are bad people. I'm saying this is what I created and sustained. I established that dynamic because I was insecure. I was insecure as fuck. I'm still insecure about different things now. Now it's like, instead of, before I was like, oh my God, what if people don't like me? Now I'm insecure about, should I give a little bit of a fuck today? should I, just, should I tone it down a little bit today? Am I a little too much today? I woke up with a little too much attitude. Maybe I should tone it down. Hey, you're always going to have some type of insecurity. Something's always going to exist within you. It's okay. It's okay. It doesn't make you a bad person or weak. What makes you weak is telling yourself it's not okay to be you. And it doesn't make you weak because you're intrinsically weak. It makes you weak because you're using all of your energy, your focus, your drive to hyperfixate on something that's not even really the reality of things. Are you believing in something? Are you believing in something about yourself that's not even your reality? I thought I was a bad person. I thought I was a bad person. I thought that if people really got to know me, they would know that I'm a bad person, and they would know that I'm somehow demonic because I can do things that other people can't do. It turns out I'm not. It turns out I can do even more than what other people can do, but that I don't give a shit. I never misuse it. Ever. And other people's insecurities is not my problem. It is not my job to apologize for the way that God made me. At all. I will not apologize for the person that I am. Now, if my behaviors, if I get out of hand with my mouth, because sometimes I do. Sometimes, rarely. That's a lie. Rarely do I not is the truth. Sometimes I get out of hand with my mouth on a daily basis. That is the truth. And you love me. Ethos. Be in an environment that has an ethos that's healthy for you. This mindset, this doctrine, the teachings, the expectations that are healthy. You know what's healthy is this grain-free bread that my husband makes, and he puts like pepperoni and cheese in it, and it's just amazing. I'm hungry. Anywho, it's winter. Winter. We need to exit out of that emotional winter that we keep living in. Honey, if you're not Elsa, stop living in that snow. It's just stop living in that snow. You don't have to be cold to yourself all the time. I found that I've been able to heal much more since I've decided to take the approach of I am like this high needs child that just needs a little bit of love. Not special needs, high needs. Like, one of those kids that is just like colicky or whatever. Like, you can't eat that baby just because it has colic. Like, that's fucked up. You're not gonna eat me. That's what I have to tell myself. Like, I can't eat myself. I have to be like, okay, we're just gonna bounce a little bit. Are we just gonna rock? Your tummy hurts. I have to assess myself in that way, in a very gentle way, because I'm so good at attacking myself. And once I begin that cycle, I mean, it's like I have to see it all the way through until I'm freaking buried and flowers growing from my corpse. I don't know why that made me laugh, but see, you know, that's not okay. That's not okay. We can't do that to ourselves. If you wouldn't say that or do that to someone else who is feeling very broken already, why would you do that to yourself? Mhm. And then we give this, like, logic of, "Oh, because that's mean. Why would I do that to someone?" "Oh, but you can be mean to yourself?" It's still mean. It didn't not become it didn't change from mean into acceptable just because it got shifted onto you. It's mean is mean is mean. See what I'm saying? So this conversation we need to have has a lot to do with looking into yourself, really acknowledging how far you've come with your life, giving yourself the type of credit that you need to give yourself. Excuse me. 41% at 8:41. That's a mirror. 585. When you allow yourself to change, you allow yourself to reintegrate with certain aspects of you, this merger point that leads to greater change. 4 and 1 is 5. 4 is the number of self entering into that singularity leading to this like merger within the self, which leads to a different singularity that emerges from that point of recognition of all the ways in which you've been deficient in that self love, self healing, self acceptance. See, we talk about all these things like self love and self healing, and we don't ever really do much with it. Instead, as we talk about those terms, self love and self healing, what we really do is choose to live with self abnegation, self abasement. That sucks. I don't know if maybe emotionally we're dyslexic. Maybe we've been traumatized earlier in life and we've taken in this really distorted belief that pain is love. No, it's not. No, it's not. I used to think that. And then I realized, no, it's not, because that's what I saw growing up. That's what I saw. Like, why don't you like yell at me and accuse me of shit? Like, why aren't you jealous? Or do you not love me? No, no, I was loved. It's just I was toxic as fuck. It's the truth. I was being toxic as fuck. I had this belief that unless you treated me like shit, that's you. I mean, you don't love me. Like, the worse you treat me, that's more evidence that you love me so much deeper. Like, if you're gonna really wild out, then yeah, oh my God, that's love. And no, for anyone who's gonna try and be like, oh my God, blah, 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 shut the fuck up. Cause clearly you've never experienced the kind of childhood I did. Consider yourself fucking lucky that you don't understand what the fuck I'm talking about. But for those who do understand, baby, I'm there with you. You get out the other side. You do. You do. You become whole. You learn about healthy love. And then you learn how to be an emanation of what you want to see in the world. But first, you have to get through what you're going through right now. You get through it. Look at me. I got through it. I got through it. People think that I have these profound thoughts because I've gone and taken all these classes in public speaking and, I have a degree in psychology and, human development and all of this. No, it's because I'm a fucking traumatized person. You know? How profound is that? How profound is that? Let's just take a moment to really look at this. How profound is it to have learned everything I learned through a life of trauma and not simply exist as a byproduct of trauma? Mm, mm. That's profound. That is profound. And much of the growth that I've experienced is not from therapy. No, no. I do auto psychotherapy where I hold myself accountable. It's not about blame. It's about accountability. It's about recognizing the ways in which I had opportunities to neutralize situations and I did not utilize those opportunities. Instead, I continued to cycle and further and further out of control. And then it was a byproduct of trauma after that. Ocean Lover says you already have public speaking down without any of those things. Thank you for that. You want to know what's amazing? I am a person who is always told to shut up. And so for much of my life, I don't really talk to people. Ain't that some shit? Yeah. Yep. First, I didn't have anyone to talk to growing up. Second, I was conditioned to believe that if I told anyone anything, that it would be used against me and that I would bring shame upon the family. So when I say I didn't talk, I actually mean it. I rarely spoke in class. I just rarely spoke, period. I was the friend that would just kind of be there. And if there's more than 2 people, I just kind of am there and I don't really talk. Mhm. Mhm. Yep. So then what changed? What changed? Did I have some aha moment? Did I have this I don't know. Did I have someone come and, like, guide me out of the wilderness of my confusion? No, I finally was just like, "You know what? Fuck it. I'm nice to everybody. You motherfuckers." That's literally what happened. Like, "Motherfuckers, I don't do shit to anybody. All you have done is fucking attack me for no reason. Fuck this shit." Yeah. That's exactly how it happened. Mhm. That's exactly how it happened. When you get tired of living in the way that you have, because it is not in alignment with who you are, because you deserve better, because this, because that, all of the things that we can say. Until you start acting like it, nothing's gonna change. It's just not. But I'm doing my vision board, Emmy. I'm proclaiming it. And honey, if you don't even believe it, it's not gonna come to you. Why do you need a vision board? Answer that question for yourself. Why do you need a vision board? I don't have a vision board. I don't do affirmations. I don't do any of that. Why do you have a vision board? Why do you have to do affirmations? To convince yourself. That's why. These are the tools we use to convince ourselves that we deserve these things that we want, but believe we will never have. So then we use a vision board to daily reminder convince ourselves. You know why I don't use any of that? Because motherfuckers, I will work my ass off to create what I know I deserve. Whether I do it by myself, whether I ask for help, whatever it is, I will do it because this is my path. Not because I'm asking something outside of myself, not because I'm praying that one day it will happen, but because I am saying this will happen because I will make it happen. How powerful do you have to be in that frame of mind? And when you enter into that frame of mind, what the hell is going to stop you after that? What's going to stop you after that? So, just in the past month, let's take a look at my life. Okay. And I want to make sure you guys understand you deserve a huge amount of credit for the way this has played out. About 3 weeks ago, I began exploring the concept of a specific type of nonprofit. Within about 3 or 4 days, I began a workshop. 2 weeks later, I have the official nonprofit. And it's federally recognized. It's in the IRS code. Did I need a vision board? No. I made declarations, and it wasn't a declaration like, I'm declaring this and no, it's, you know what? I have to do this. I'll find a way. I don't know how it's going to happen. Go back a couple live streams. I don't know how it's going to happen. I'll figure it out. I will make it happen, but it's going to happen. I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm going to make it happen. I'll figure it out. And so it happened. Go back a couple live streams. What did I say? My goal is to have a nonprofit by my mom's birthday. Today's her birthday. Today's her birthday. And I set my goal, not knowing how I was going to get it done. I just knew that I would. Whatever it was that I was going to have to do, whether it's, sell things or I don't know. I don't know. I was considering getting out some of my most favorite crystals that I've never shown you guys and selling it. Because there was nothing, no material thing was going to keep me from doing what I set my mind to doing. So what's stopping you from doing what you have set your mind to doing? Is it a belief that, it's probably not going to happen, but I'll try anyways? I'm telling you, fuck the vision boards. Screw all of that. Screw the vision boards. Screw the affirmations. If you're going to claim something, really claim something. See, in the world of dogs, because I've grown up with dogs my whole life. When your dog has taken something from you and you're like, give it back, and they're growling at you, they're letting you know, I don't believe you're in control here. So I'm going to fight you, right? For me, I'm not going to snatch that from my dog. I'm going to say, give. And my energy is going to say, you better drop that shit at my feet and don't even look at it. That's what my energy says. So I have this big ass dog, Shiva, bless her soul. She old as fuck. Now she don't give a fuck. She's so old. She just she does this trotting and skipping around the backyard. She doesn't give a shit what you want. But I tell you, she loves food and makes her happy. That's why she lives, for food. You give her her food and she starts eating and I say, hey, she will back up like, oh my God, I'm sorry. God, I'm so hungry. She'll start shaking, but she won't look at that food. She won't touch the food. She'll in fact spit out what's in her mouth. Like, oh my God. Oh my God. And no, I don't beat her. Come on. She's old. She's old. She's like, what, 13 now? Yeah. Because she knows, I'm not even going to question you. Very confident in the fact that this is your food. Can you just let me know when I can have some? That's how you need to approach your goals in life. That's how you need to approach your goals. And if you have to sell your personal belongings in order to achieve what you are setting your mind to, do it. Why are you so attached to these personal belongings? Because they're evidence of what? So maybe you have a pair of shoes that are like ridiculously expensive. You spent like $800 for these shoes, right? Because they're like new, they're in season. And that's like you spent your entire paycheck, you eating top ramen for 3 weeks to get that. Okay, good for you if that's what you really wanted. But you understand the value for that is going to go down, right? Because there's going to be a new season in a few weeks and that's going to be out of style. Yikes. 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 Sell it. Use it a few times. Get your pictures in, your selfies, whatever it is, and then sell it. Use that money to get something else that you want or need. So, have you guys heard of like, I think it's called the red paperclip? Something like that. It was this thing where a guy started with a red paperclip and he kept trading and trading and trading until he got this huge, by the end of that experiment, he had like some huge thing worth a lot of money. But it all started with trading with a paperclip. And the funny thing is, most people will think like, oh, that's just bullshit. No, my husband does that shit. It's weird as fuck to watch the way it works. But he was doing that like, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago. So we lived in a condominium for we only had one child. We lived in a condominium, right? And I remember one time he got a Porsche. That's what he got. He goes into like the dumpster, not in the dumpster, but like, the dumpster area of the condominium, and people will leave things out because they don't want it anymore, and he will take it and then he will sell it. And I'm just like, "What are you doing? Like, what are you doing?" And you would think that it's like people threw that away. Who are you gonna sell it to? This fool always sells things. I'm like, "How do you do that? How do you do that? What the heck?" So he's a grease monkey guy. Mhm. He likes to tinker on vehicles, imports to be exact. And in the matter of like, I don't know, like a couple months, he basically was able to trade out all the components of the car that he was working on. There was really no exchange of money. And he got basically everything he wanted. Why? Because he's lucky? No. Yes and no. I mean, he's lucky he married me, but then he's also not lucky that he married me. I'm just saying, um, because he wouldn't stop. He wouldn't stop. He was always perusing whatever the heck message boards and stuff he was on. And he was doing his thing. And every few days there would be someone else. I would look out the window. He's on the driveway working on a car, and some new person is there, like, motherfucker, who the hell is that now? He's like, oh, I got a whole new front end. What the hell? Yep. He traded for replica wheels all the way to the real deal expensive rims. Like expensive rims. How much were those rims? I forget how much. Yeah. Yep. And then because I think there was like a little bit of a bend to one of those real rims. And if you guys don't know, rims are ridiculously expensive. Because there was a bend in one of them, the guy was just like, whatever. And what he did was he went and got that repaired and everything, I think refinished, if I remember right. And then it was basically brand new. He basically got that for free. Mhm. Mhm. So it's about how you handle your life, how you choose certain things, and because that's a perfect example of causation and effect. When you choose a path, you live through that. And you have to choose, consciously choose what you're gonna do next. You can't continue to live in a way where it's like you're at the mercy of someone else's whim. Yeah. Like, I remember one time, I think like what happened? I think we blew the engine of the Integra or something like that. There was something wrong with the Integra. And so he was gonna either donate it or something like that, or he posted it for sale. And some guy came, he had his trailer and everything. And my husband ain't no punk. This guy's trying to lowball him, and he's like, no. And the guy tried to be like, well, I'm good then. So my husband's like, you're good then. I don't know. Did we end up donating that? I think we ended up just donating it. And he wasn't tripping. I was like, you don't want to just sell it? He's like, no, fuck that guy. I was like, okay, whatever. Concealment. You can try and hide from yourself the way your decisions, the way your decisions have been the actual root causation of your struggle. But at some point, all of that shit's going to spill out the box. Oh, he sold it for the price he wanted. I don't have a good memory. He sold it for the price he wanted. This guy drove all the way out. I think he was like an hour away or something like that with his trailer. I'm like, "Are you serious?" He came all the way out here with his trailer. He didn't even try and haggle. He was just like, "No, fuck that." I was like, "Okay, whatever." Ancestors, remembrance. You have to remember what you've already lived through. A lot of your ancestor stuff is talking about your parents, what you witnessed them experience, their type of interactions. That's probably the large part of your programming. It's probably the large part. So you have to begin recognizing what it is you're dealing with for yourself. If you don't know what you're programmed with, how are you going to know what to fix? And it's not fixed because you're broken. It's fixed so that you can live a more comfortable existence within yourself because you deserve that. You're not fixing things because you're broken. You're rearranging, adjusting things because you deserve to be comfortable within yourself. Really let that sink in. Let percolate it, marinate in that. See, manifestation in reverse. So long as you continue to hide the truth from yourself, you won't really be able to manifest exactly what you wanted. You won't be able to. So long as you continue to not allow yourself to recognize what is going on in your life is a product of your thoughts about yourself and about other people, then I don't know what's going to happen for you. It's up to you. If you don't want to let go, oh, there you go. Release a dark wound and let love live. You can hold on to that rotting fish all you want. It's still going to rot. Once something begins to rot, you cannot unrot it. You can't stop that. Rotten is rotten is rotten. And maybe for some of us, we're mistaking rotten for fermenting. See, fermenting is a form of rotting that is intentional, right? It's intentional. You're attempting to get it to ferment. But see, here's the thing. I don't think what you're dealing with is fermenting. I think it's rotting. Fermenting doesn't produce the type of bacteria that are detrimental to your health and well being. Rotting does. It has to be prepared in a certain way. It has to be approached in a certain way. And if you don't, if contaminants enter into that, it's just rotting now. It's just rotting. So you can age meat, right? But you have to do it in a way where, flies can't lay their larva in it and, you have to process it in a certain way. So what's the difference between aged meat and a carcass that's bloated in the sun after a week? It's aged meat. That shit's rotten. If you eat that, you're probably going to have a problem, right? Be careful of the people who are selling you their toxicity and labeling it fermented. Like, I'm healthy, I'm fermented, I'm spiritual. No, you're toxic. Some people, they will use spirituality as a fermenting label. Okay. They will try and utilize that and, like, oh, no, 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 I'm not rotting. I'm fermenting. I'm fermenting. No, you're not. You're rotting. You're a bloated carcass. Shoot. Oracle says, I've heard that twice in 2 days. I'm dealing with flies instead of bees. Ooh. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing. Flies are attracted to shit. Have you been flinging shit on yourself? Right? Because we know you yourself, and this applies to everybody, you yourself are not a piece of shit. Like, no, no. Whoever told you that as a kid needs to shut the fuck up. You yourself are not a piece of shit. But when we keep flinging our own shit onto ourselves, you're going to attract a whole ton of flies. They're going to be drawn to you. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Where I went through that basically year and a half, 2 years of me flinging shit onto myself and all these flies coming to feast on me. Like, no, no, take that off. Take the clothes off. Put on some fresh clothes. Go take a shower, put on some fresh clothes. Feel good about yourself. Not because someone else is telling you you're good, but because you're cleansing away all the things that created such a stink within you that you don't feel stanky anymore. You know what I mean? Dang, spirals of manifestation in reverse. Yikes. Yikes. We're manifesting the negative things for ourselves. This is what this whole reading is basically pointing at. We've been manifesting the negative things for ourselves for quite some time. And here's the thing. Instead of viewing it as like, I just keep choosing the wrong thing. I keep making it. I'm the proud, blah, 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 all of these half-assed thoughts. Start seeing it in the reality that it is. Well, if I can manifest caca, I can manifest manure. Manure represents the potentiality for explosive growth, for abundance, abundant harvest. It's just a matter of how you process it. It's just a matter of how you process it. So, how are you processing your life? Manure has to be allowed to, go through its process where it's covered and the heat is trapped. And that heat kills off all the pathogenic type stuff and it supports the growth of healthy bacteria. How are you processing your life? Saying someone's not listening. Card number 36, listening for truth. See, we're manifesting the wrong things because we're not listening to truth. We're not listening to the truth because we're too busy holding on to this rotting fish of a lie that we've been telling ourselves. See, I am not the problem. I do not have a problem. I have opportunities to learn and grow and expand my awareness of myself within my life, within my environment, within the purpose of my soul. All of the things I experience are not a problem. They're opportunities to learn to a much higher and deeper degree. So learn. Learn. One of the things that irks me, sometimes my husband will do this and I get like so triggered so fast. So he'll tell me like, "Oh, there's a problem," and, he wants me to help him figure out what to do about it. And then I'll be like, "Hey, well, have you tried blah, blah, blah?" And he'll be so focused on like, "No, no, no, there's a problem." It's like, "But have you tried blah, blah, blah?" "But no, you didn't hear me. There's a problem." "I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit if there's a problem. Have you tried this?" And I'd be like, "Why are you mad?" "Because you're wasting my time. You're wasting my time. I don't want to keep saying there's a problem. I don't want to keep hearing that. What solutions have you tried? Because really, I got 30 minutes. I got 30 minutes. 30 minutes. You go over 15 minutes, I'm out. I'm out because I got to get something done before my 30 minutes is up. And so it's either we're going to freaking work on a solution right now, or you're going to waste my time and keep talking about how there's a problem. That's what's going on in the world. We keep talking about how there's a problem. There's a problem with this. There's a problem with that. There's a problem. There's a problem. There's a problem. Ain't nobody trying to implement a solution. We alternate between talking about there's a problem and talking about what the problem is. We all know what the problem is. We all know what the problem is. We've fallen from grace with each other. We've allowed the most narcissistic, the most psychopathic, sociopathic, to be in control. So, yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem. I'm done talking about the problem. So then what do we do? Only let people be in control who are not going to be paid and cannot be paid by anything and have to be audited every 6 months. Yeah. Have to take lie detector tests every 6 months. Have you taken from these people? Have you received any benefits from that? And no. And you want to pass some rules, some laws? All of that should apply to your family for a year or 2 before the rest of the populace. That'll fix shit real fucking quick. Well, I mean, you can't expect people to work for free. Minimum wage. Give them minimum wage. Oh, that's not right. Why is that not right? If you have the millions of fucking dollars to do all of the campaigning shit, honey, you don't need to be paid. You don't need to be paid. See, that's what I'm talking about when I say talk about solutions and implement them. Don't keep like, oh, it's because the left and the right. It's the same fucking bird. It's one bird. It's the same velociraptor that's shredding all of us. The little mice that they, kind of just pick up. They pick us up, gobble us down. Mhm. You really want change? Put all that shit into implementation. I promise you, shit will change real quick. All of these people who are drunk off power, drunk off their riches, they'll quit. They'll quit. Mhm. You know how fast our communities will change if we get to allocate exactly where our income tax goes to? Why don't we get to say where it's going to? Because I tell you right now, why the fuck am I funding a war? Why the fuck am I funding a war? Why have I been funding a war the entire time I've been working and having taxes pulled out? We haven't stopped war. We really haven't. We go from nation to nation to nation, we destabilize them, and then we come in under the guise of democracy. Motherfuckers, it's not democracy. It's not democracy. That's expansion of empire. That's what we've been funding. Expansion of empire. Mhm. Mhm. Moonrock says there are some ancient motherfuckers that are still in office. Like majority of the population isn't even their age anymore. Oh my gosh. Ooh. That's why they're so vilified, Ocean Lover. Now I don't know too much about them, okay? Castro, Guevara, Sankara. One of the first things that they did while serving the people was to get rid of unnecessary luxuries for public servants, beginning with themselves. Woo! Mm. Mhm. We're over here, we assassinated Gaddafi, right? You need to look up what he did for his people. Why the hell was he's so evil? I mean, I don't get it because I was looking that up before and it was this thing of He made sure his people had clean water. He made the gas extremely affordable for his people and a whole bunch of other things. And he's evil? That he deserved to be unalived? Hmm. But then we, as a globe, we will celebrate people like Mother Teresa. That bitch was crazy. Look at what she did. She was extremely sadistic. From what I saw, she was sadistic. All y'all who like luxury things, you like Coco Chanel? The epitome of womanhood. You know who she supported, right? Do you know about Coco Chanel? I'm just saying. And what Winston Churchill did for her? Do y'all know that about that? Gaze says Gaddafi gave free education and served. He helped my country too. Yeah. Adam Thompson says one big reason they got rid of him was he rejected the dollar and was backing the currency with gold. Yep. Yeah. Mhm. The things we choose, we will always harvest the fruit that plant we planted bears. We will always harvest that. If it's not our generation, it's the next one, the one after us, or several after us. We have to begin really being present and making these choices in a very cognitive manner. We have to. After the storm in reverse, the storm's not going to end until we shut off the fucking machines that create fake storms. Let that sink in. When you have the capacity to modify the weather, oh, Michael says I'm not allowed to talk about it. Whatever. Card number 10, releasing allegiances, just letting go of this need to continue to be allegiant to the very things that's causing your oppression, suppression, pain, suffering. Releasing your allegiance to that old way of being, just letting that go. Letting that go, not forgetting about it, not diminishing it, not pretending it never happened. Remembering it, understanding it, recognizing why it was able to happen, and never allowing us to choose that same thing again. And we still keep choosing the same thing. We still keep choosing the same thing. Okay? That's just something that we have to come to terms with. We have to work through a lot as people. If you think there's so much difference between you and someone who makes six figures, there's not. There's not. Depending on what level of six figure, it's still considered poverty level in some places. You're still considered low income in some places. Like if we were to go to a smaller town, say I made $100,000 a year, right? Smaller town is like, oh my God, you're so rich. $100,000 a year in California will get you a shoebox to rent that you can barely afford. I hope you like top ramen and sink water. Let that sink in. Yep, 31% of those who make six figures are living paycheck to paycheck. We really aren't that much different, guys. We really are not that much different from each other. We think someone has more than us and so they have a better life, and really, do they? Is it paycheck to paycheck as well? I saw that somewhere, formula was 50 something dollars, something like that, a can. That kind of stuff should be free. Food for infants, Excuse me, it should be free. Do you know what formula is? Powdered bovine bodily secretion with sugar and synthetic vitamins. Iron fortified, it has iron flakes, actual iron, metal. Do you know what they call a baby's gut that has never had formula? They've only ever had breast milk? A virgin gut. Its purity is intact. I'm not trying to shame you if you give your child formula. I'm trying to help you to understand we've bought into so many different programs that have separated us from the true function of our lives, a function that's so much healthier than the fuckery that they've established. Formula is not healthy for babies. Why? Because it's made for cows. Cows are supposed to put on several hundred pounds in a few months. It's just crazy. And no, breastfeeding is not easy. And no, not everyone has the option to breastfeed. And no, don't be shaming women who have to go back to work. I was very lucky. My husband was a sole breadwinner for much of our relationship, practically the whole thing. And so I had the luxury, yeah, fucking crazy, the luxury of being able to exclusively breastfeed the babies. That's crazy, right? It's now a luxury. Have you ever thought how crazy it is that buying a salad is a luxury over buying a burger? It's crazy to me. Is that what we're doing in our lives? Where the healthy thing is what's placed on a pedestal and we can't ever have that. And we have to resign ourselves to what? Being okay with the things that are the most unhealthy? In the United States, pretty much all tap water has fluoride, and all toothpaste and, unless you're going to, like, a holistic dentist, they will encourage the coating of your teeth with fluoride. Fluoride is a neurotoxin. You once it's in your body, it's extremely difficult to get it out. It goes into your bones and it sits there. It's associated with the development of leukemia, Alzheimer's, all sorts of different things. And we are told to put fluoride in our children's water, in their mouth, their toothpaste, all of that. It's also connected to the calcification of your pineal gland. In addition to that, the originations of fluoride was that it was experimentation used in concentration camps. They used it to create a more docile population. Mhm. It does calcify the pineal gland. Yep. It's also, get this, at some point in the early 1900s, I think it was around 1920, something like that. I don't have a good memory, so don't quote me. But up until that specific point, aluminum companies had to pay huge exorbitant fees in order to properly dispose of fluoride because it's a toxic byproduct of the aluminum industry. I say what? How did it suddenly become safe? It is a toxic byproduct of aluminum manufacturing. And they weren't allowed to just dump it out into the environment. That's how toxic it is. They had to properly dispose of it or face heavy fines. So I totally use Ayurvedic toothpaste. I use Ayurvedic toothpaste. I do still need to get rid of the amalgam in my teeth, but they've been poisoning us for quite some time. Did you know that even if your amalgam fits tightly, fits snug, it still emits a fume? Mhm. Did you know that when you have severe leaky gut, especially from childhood, which that's what I had from childhood, um, you tend to not take in the proper nutrients. It can't be absorbed through your intestinal wall because of the systemic inflammation. I was basically malnourished no matter how much I ate, right? And so because of that, I didn't get the proper minerals in my body. So my teeth are not properly mineralized. And they tell me if I put fluoride all over my teeth, is it gonna fix it? No, it's not gonna fucking fix it. It's not gonna harden my teeth. No, it's not. I need to take something in that will mineralize my teeth. And my teeth feel so much stronger since I switched to an Ayurvedic toothpaste. It's all berries and shit. Berries and seeds and like powders all ground up and silica and put into a paste. My teeth are feeling super healthy now. I just have to get rid of all my old amalgam. Yep. Ooh, Moonrock says, I once went to the dentist and I told the assistant I don't want her to coat my teeth with fluoride. And she asked why and said, you're already drinking it because of the water. You know, when I took my child to the dentist and they wanted to put fluoride coating, and I said no. And they're like, why? I said, because it's a neurotoxin. They're like, no, but it's safe. And I said, no, it's a neurotoxin and it causes cancer. And like, mommy, that's conspiracy. No, it's not. And I told them the whole story of it. And they were just like, what? You don't know? You work in a dentist's office, you don't know this? I'm like, I would be worried for you too because you're dealing with mercury and fluoride day in and day out, day in and day out. That gets on your skin. Dermal absorption. Hello. Mhm. Mhm. Um, it's berries and shit. It is. It's berries and shit. I should go show you guys that toothpaste. It's fucking amazing. One day we went into this Indian store. Um, we went into this Indian store and we went there for kaju because one of my friends introduced me to all sorts of Indian junk food and I was just like, yeah. So we went in, I believe it's called kaju. And then I found chicky and I was like, fuck yeah, chicky. And then I happened to see the toothpaste because I was like, okay, I'm gonna get fucked up off this kaju and chicky. And then I don't know, something happened. It doesn't taste very good. It doesn't taste bad, but it doesn't taste like traditional toothpaste. And I was using it. And I'm like, why does my teeth suddenly feel good? My teeth suddenly feel like healthier. Hmm. Yeah. Yup. And so that's what I use now. It's amazing stuff. It's amazing, amazing stuff. Um, what? Christy K, and Emmy, if what? Sorry. I love to learn more about all this kind of stuff. Picking your brain. You should make a Emmy Evolving exclusive on your website of like products. I mean, the cost for me to import that it would kind of defeat the purpose. Just go to an Indian store. Make friends with the Indian people. They're very, very, very nice people. Um, let me ask Frey if he is home. If he's home and can get it for me, then yeah, I'll show you. It's no biggie. It's no biggie. So we go there a lot. Well, not a lot anymore because like Ooh. Hey, are you home? Hey, can you grab me one of the new toothpaste? Bye. Yes. Yes. I love that toothpaste. Like, I will never switch to another one. When I had a severe tooth infection, it was like a huge abscess reaching my brain. um, I was using that, and whenever I would use it, it would like go down more, but then it got to a point where it tapped into the nerve. And so I couldn't avoid the dentist anymore. So, yeah, and I was expecting the dentist to say all kind of different things about the health of my gums and everything, and when she was doing the cleaning of my teeth, um, like the scheduled cleaning. I love this stuff. I think it's gluten-free. See. So, it has 0 fluoride, ajwan. Okay. It's Vico. I don't know why I didn't show you guys. Vico. It's Vico. Yeah, it's amazing. It's just amazing stuff. She's like, yeah. Vico. It's good stuff. I guess there's a powder that you could use to like um rub on your gums and stuff if you have an infection. It says Ayurvedic paste is used in hardening of gums and teeth, cleansing and healing of wounds, tooth caries, and inflammation of gums, which I was having all of those issues. It's also used on toothache and in the treatment of disorders of gum and teeth like tooth decay. What the fuck's going on? Pyorrhea, swollen gums, bleeding gums, and other periodontal disorders. Yep. I don't have any more bleeding gums. I don't have any more gingivitis. And that was within, I want to say like 3 weeks of starting it because um, a lot of the different things that go on with people who have gut issues, it will affect the dental. So I don't have any more bleeding gums, gingivitis, any of that. And I tell you, when I say my mouth feels healthy, it feels healthy. I just got to not eat some cheeky is what it is. I got to not. But Vico, I love this brand. Um, I don't know how much it costs though. This is a larger one. I want to say it's like, I don't know, like $5 or $7. And some people might be like, "Oh my god, that's fucking expensive." Okay, but do you know how much you would spend in dental care? For two teeth that were like the fillings failed because of my health. And I have bomb ass dental insurance. Okay. I have bomb ass dental insurance. Every time I go to a dental office and they look at my insurance, they're like, "Oh my God, that's such good insurance." I'm like, "I know, right?" I spent something like $2,800 and my insurance covers a large portion of that. Okay. I will fucking be spending my $7. I will spend my $7 for toothpaste. I am not fucking tripping off $7. Yeah, it's ridiculous. There was this woman who needed a root canal in Mexico, and she went in same day and had it done. It was amazing. Her root canal was really beautiful. She paid $19. $19. Why the fuck do I have to pay 2,800? I think it's something like 7 or 8,000 is the cost for my 2 teeth because of like, I'm allergic to all sorts of different things, and so they have to do crazy shit with me. That's why I don't wanna go into the dentist. They gotta put me to sleep and all this other crazy shit. Yeah, like, last time when I had this work done, um, they had to give me something like 3 to 4 times the amount of sedatives to knock me out, like, I was not responding to the anesthesia. I'm just like, Please don't kill me. Please don't let me die from dental work. You just, maybe you should stop putting more in because I should be asleep now. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty big, it's pretty big. It's pretty big. I was using the smaller one. I didn't realize I had a larger size. Hold on. It's a pretty big amount. Yeah. It's a pretty big amount. And can you guys smell it? It looks like that. That's what it looks like. It's just, and I first time I squirted it on the toothbrush, I was like, oh, I don't know if this is gonna taste right. It doesn't taste horrible, but it doesn't taste like toothpaste, as you guys know it to be. It's kind of like this gritty. I don't know. But the moment I finished brushing my teeth, I was like, oh, not too bad. Not too bad. And I've been using it ever since. And the more I use it, the more healthier my gums feel. Um, there's no more gaps in like the where the gum is because I had a lot of inflammation on my gums. And it's just one of those things where it was life changing. It was life changing, and it's completely natural, no fluoride. There's another brand that the guy at the Indian store said it's even better than this brand. It's like the best. It's what they use. And I bought a little one of it. He goes, buy a little one, see how you like it. And I said, no, I'll get the big one. He goes, no, buy a little one first and see how you like it. And so I was super excited. And I was like, this one's even better. I'm going to be so good. And then I brushed my teeth. I was like, oh, yes, yes, it feels good. And then I was reading it to see the difference. Motherfucker, it said fluoride. Ah, you poisoned me. I was like, damn it. Yeah, it has fluoride. So I was just like, nah, I'll stay with my Vico. I'll just stay with Vico. Um, ooh, that sounds like you had an allergic type reaction to the anesthesia. Ooh, glad you're okay. I'm glad you're okay. Yeah, part of what I wanna do I have so many plans with the nonprofit, with Soulwork Synergistic. Part of what I wanna do is make it more commonplace to do whole being wellness, and with whole being wellness, you don't wait until you're sick. It's not about sick care, it's about health care, and health care as we know it right now is not health care. It is sickness abatement. Like, that's not health care. That is not health care. And if you guys think that this is just like hippie stuff and this and that, um, I guess it's because I come from a family that has actual shamanic history, like within known ancestry. My grandmother had tremendous abilities. Her father had tremendous abilities using flora, like raw plant material, and being able to take care of very serious conditions in a very natural way and have it be even more effective than modern science. Like, it's amazing. It's amazing. A lot of the things that I've done for my family during times of illness have been much more effective than anything medical. Seriously. Like, did you know ginger? When you create a poultice in the way that I can share, um, when you use fresh ginger with high proof alcohol as a poultice, it's actually more effective on a herniated disc than Flexeril and Motrin combined. It's much more effective. I used to herniate my disc all the time, and I would be placed on 800 milligram Motrin 3 times a day and a high ass dosage of Flexeril, and I would not be able to walk for like maybe 2 weeks. Like literally, I would have to wait until my husband gets home from work so he can carry me to the bathroom. And I would just be laying on my side all day crying because I can't move. Luckily, my kid was a toddler at that time. and he was able to get things. My husband would just leave it lower, not putting on the high shelves, and he'd be able to do things for himself. It's crazy. But when I do this ginger and high proof alcohol, I can get up and walk within 30 minutes. 30 minutes. It's tender. Yeah. I can tell I've injured myself, but it's not painful. There's no more pinched nerve. There's no none of that. 30 minutes. You know how cheap that is? Get the cheapest vodka you can find and a clump of ginger, fresh ginger. So fucking easy. So easy, so cheap. Yeah, 30 minutes, not even joking, not exaggerating, nothing. Yep. There's a lot of things that we can do to keep ourselves healthy. I had a period where all of my kids, and I had a newborn. Oh my God. My baby had just been born. He was literally just like a couple, maybe 2, 3 weeks old. And all the freaking siblings caught RSV. Now, RSV is what they're trying to make COVID into. Okay. RSV is real, like, that's some fucked up shit. It's so real that when you go to the hospital and you have a confirmed case of RSV, they will put on their, protective gear. They will isolate you and zip up the fucking room. Okay. This is pre COVID. That's how serious it is. It's often fatal for newborns and the elderly and those who are immunocompromised. We all caught RSV. Fucking hey. We all caught RSV. And it was a confirmed case. RSV typically takes several weeks to several months to recover from. It's almost like a whooping cough. Yes, let me look it up. Hold on. Um, it's this right here. Anyone who is a nurse knows about this, especially if they work with newborns. So, confirmed case, usually if you have RSV, you have to go straight to the ER. They have to admit you because you don't play with respiratory stuff. Okay. You just don't. You don't play with respiratory stuff. Um, my children's doctor, their pediatrician said, you're going to have to go to the ER and this and that. And so I asked her, what symptoms do I have to look for to indicate that he's entering into respiratory distress? Like, what are the symptoms? And I promise you, I will call 911 if I see any of that. I want to try and get him comfortable at home first. And so she told me the symptoms. Yeah, see, Nancy knows. She says my 13-year-old had RSV when he was a little under 2. He was in an incubator. I assume intubation for a few days. It's serious. It's serious, serious. I cleared it in 3 days, like it was never there. Because after the 3rd day, the pediatrician wanted us to come back in, and he was already having crackling in his lungs, which is not a good sign. And she listened to his lungs because she was so worried about us those 3 days since I said I wasn't going to go in unless I had to. So she was thinking about us the whole time. And when I brought him back in on the 3rd day, she's like, his lungs are clear. What did you do? Took care of him. Colloidal silver. Colloidal silver. I use colloidal silver, raw apple cider vinegar, chamomile tea, raw honey. That's literally all I did. Cleared a case of RSV that should have went to the ER in 3 days instead of months of recovery. And my kids have asthma. So if they get sick, it's a big deal. It's like a big fucking deal. And now when they get sick, about 3 days, 4 days of sniffles. That's it. It's usually about it. Yeah, sometimes they'll have some vomiting, like if, my youngest one doesn't really manage his mucus well. And then his body will be like, I've had enough. He will vomit. Yeah. It's all mucus though. Vitamin D helps a lot for keeping your immune system strong. Yes, but a lot of the vitamin D that we take is actually not bioavailable. It's not the same as getting vitamin D, synthesizing it yourself by being exposed to the sun with no sunblock. So, if you're going to take vitamin D, it's probably best to consider something like D3 instead. Maybe I will go live later today and we'll talk about all these little life hacks that I have. Um, yeah, it's people think they used to think that I was just this wannabe hippie. You know what I mean? Like all my relatives are like, "Oh my god, here she goes with her like, oh no, that's not healthy for the baby and this and that." Mhm. Now it's like, "Hey, what should I do for this and this and this?" I don't know, go to your doctor. Like, no, like what would you do? Because you always get your kids feeling better a lot faster. Yeah. We never use antibiotics. We never use antibacterial stuff. That kills your immune system. It was a whole motherfucking plan, yo. That kills your immune system. It is a biocide. You know what that means? When you spray it on the doorknobs and use it all over the surfaces because you're disinfecting, you're leaving a film, a residue. Whenever you touch that surface and you go and eat something, you're ingesting it. 70% of your immune system is in your gut. That's why you're unhealthy. You get sick a lot, it's your gut. Check on your gut. Hyperpermeable bowel. That is what leaky gut is. You got to check on that kind of stuff, you know? For which one, Christy K? Uh, put it in a nebulizer or by mouth. Do you mean the colloidal silver? Now, I can't give medical advice, and you guys have to make sure you do your own research and speak to medical professionals, like licensed medical professionals. I'm just talking about my life experience with my kids. What I have done in the past is I will take vials of sterile inhalation saline. And then I would take one vial of the sterile inhalation saline and one vial of their albuterol and like maybe 2, 3 drops of true colloidal silver. True colloidal silver. Don't be playing around with the other stuff. True colloidal silver. And then I would nebulize them. And yeah, it works. Works very well. Works very, very well, actually. Um, yeah, but I have had respiratory therapists say like, "Oh my god, don't ever do that." I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. You know. So you got to do, your research for yourself. What might work for my family might not work for yours. Also, keep in mind they hardly ever get sick. So when we do this, it's maybe once every, I don't know, 2 years, something like that. So it's not constantly inhaling colloidal silver. Anything that's healthy for you can become toxic for you if you overdo it. So that's why I want to make sure you guys are very careful in what you do, the way you do it. Okay? You want to make sure you don't take things out of hand. Like I had a friend, well, she's my friend's wife, and they had a newborn, and she really liked my crunchy granola lifestyle. And they had the newborn who then developed they had cradle cap, and then they developed impetigo, which is a staph infection. And she was doing reading online where coconut oil will help with fungal, because coconut oil is antifungal, antibacterial, all that good stuff, right? And so she's been slathering this baby with coconut oil. I mean, newborn. And, it'd been like a week, and she said it's kind of spreading, but she doesn't wanna go to the hospital yet. She doesn't wanna, like, get the baby checked because they wanna give the coconut oil time. And, They're really believing in this coconut oil, right? Which coconut oil is beneficial. It's amazing stuff. And I was like, well, can you send me a picture? I swear to God, like the whole fucking baby was covered with staph. I was like, girl, please go to the ER. And she's like, what? Screw the coconut oil. Go to the ER. You have to go to the ER. You have to, like today. Don't wait till tomorrow. Don't wait till next week. Don't give the coconut oil time to. You have to go to the ER. Oh my God, her baby was in the hospital for a long time. A long time. I think I think she had shared on Facebook that he ended up needing to have chemotherapy and I'm like, You guys, when you catch something early, yes, it will work. It can work. All of the natural things can work. You let shit get out of hand like that? No, you have to go to the doctor. You need the synthetic medications. You need IV antibiotics. You can harm someone seriously. It is highly contagious. Highly contagious. So, Adam, my son had impetigo as well from his cradle cap, and it was so hard to get rid of it until I got um, Castile soap with silver. So there's this soap, they sell it on Amazon. That's where I think I got it from Amazon. It's soap that already has silver in it. And so what I would do, I would wash the affected area twice a day, once in the morning, once before night, and anything that touches that has to be washed. Everything is washed every day. And I would use like because my baby was still a baby, just a couple weeks old or a couple months old. I would have a baby blanket that I would set my baby on anytime I would put him down. And, every time it's a new baby blanket and everything has to be washed at the end of the day. And when I switched my protocol to that, um, gosh, the impetigo stopped weeping and started to dry up within about 12 hours. And then he started healing within 24. And I want to say within about 4 to 7 days. By the end of the week, I know it was before the end of the week, where I was like, oh my God, it's like nearly gone. But for sure, by the end of the week, it was just like marks that needed to heal. It was no longer an active impetigo case. Like, if you guys don't know this, it's not because people are dirty. You have staph that lives in your nose. For some of us, we host staph in our nose. If you pick your nose and you touch things, yeah, you're introducing staph. You're introducing staph, So it's just one of those things. We don't got to be ashamed. It's very, very common. But yeah, that fucking cleared it up real quick. I was like, yes, because I was worried. Luckily, it stayed localized to right here. Some into his head is right here. And I think what had happened was like, how babies sometimes they'll claw their face and whatnot. And he probably was hosting staph in his nostrils. And then he was scratching his head because he had cradle cap. And I think that might have been what it was. We think it got into his system from mosquito bites scratching them. Maybe because kids don't really, sometimes they stick their finger in their nose or whatever. And if they scratch them, then yeah, they could definitely do that. Oh, you guys, there's this awesome diaper spray. There's this awesome diaper spray. When I was taking care of my mom, she had like a yeasty thing happening right here, like a yeasty rash. And it had a little bit like, because of the way it looked to me, I was like, that looks like it's beginning to be staph. And her home health nurse came and I showed her, and she's like, oh, you got to make sure, that's so hard to get rid of. You could try these different creams. And she's telling me all of these like over the counter things, and she was going to get a prescription from my mom's doctor and all of this and all of that. I said, okay. I didn't do any of that. I used this diaper spray, maybe like 3 times a day. Oh, thank you, daddy. This is a diaper spray. Oh my fucking God. It works on everything. Like literally everything. You got any type of skin, anything, rash, a boo boo, I don't give a shit what it is. If it's broken skin in some way, shape, or form, I'm gonna spray it with this. And this, when her home nurse came to bathe her, like so she would come Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right? So she came 2 days later, and and I would bathe my mom every day anyway, so I kept her very clean. And so she came 2 days later to bathe my mom, and she went to check it because she has to note that in my mom's medical charts. And she goes, "Oh my god, it's gone." I said, "Yeah." She goes, "What did you use? Did you use all the stuff?" I was like, "No." She goes, "What did you use that's so hard to get rid of and it spread so fast?" "Diaper spray." And she started laughing. She goes, "Diaper spray?" I said, "Yeah, it has tea tree oil, it has witch hazel, calendula, pansy, it has French lavender, it has aloe leaf, aloe vera, it has soap bark." This shit fixes everything, I'm telling you. It cleared it up within 2 days. There was no more yeasty nothing there. I was just like, "Listen, woman, give me your armpit. I'm spraying the shit out of you." Yeah, no, I was spraying her 3 times a day and she was getting irritated. I was like, "Do you wanna stink? Do you wanna stink? You wanna smell like sourdough?" And she's like, "No, let me spray your armpit then." And it stops itching too. And something about this spray, the mixture of those, maybe it's the pansy, I don't know. But it stops the itching, it stops all of that. I also found that a very strongly brewed cup of organic chamomile tea mixed with some sort of like natural oil, like coconut oil, avocado oil, olive oil, like an edible oil. A teaspoon of that, mix with that, and you use it as a wash. Put it on a washcloth, wring it out, and use it to wipe yourself. That's much better at addressing rashes, like eczema-based rashes, than steroids. Takes all the redness away and it causes the itching to stop, but you have to do it more often. You have to do it maybe 3 times a day or so if it's pretty intense. That's what I was using on my kids. Kept them very comfortable. They had severe eczema, weeping eczema. There's just a lot of different things. You know what? I'm gonna get some neem oil soon to try and address some of my plant stuff. We have gnats. Ugh. So I heard neem oil is very good for gnats as well. Like you spray it into the soil and everything, like the surface. It helps. Um, so if it's flared again, Adam, you have to check his diet. It's most likely, these are some of the offending things for children who are high frequency. Grains of any kind, rice and corn, especially. So all grains, even ancient grains, cow dairy. It's not just the lactose, it's actually one of the proteins, caseinate or the whey. Usually the caseinate is the offender. Soy might cause it because of the cross reactivity, legumes, and nightshades. So those are things that have a tendency to increase inflammation within the body, like an inflammatory response. It's not an allergy, it's a toxic overload. That's what I realized. Eczema is very poorly understood by allopathic medicine. Their go-to treatment is steroids. Steroidal treatments they don't cure things. All it does is suppress the body's reaction. So now you don't know what's causing it. You're allowing it to get worse and worse and worse. That could eventually, like literally, eventually, after years, become something that is an autoimmune condition. Ah, he got glutenized. That didn't. There's some points on the legs that will help to flush the digestive tract. It will support a healthy peristalsis movement, like the wave-like function that pushes the food out. And then it causes a reduction of inflammation within the digestive tract. One of my kids got glutenized and he was in so much pain, and I did that, the points. And within, I think, like 30 minutes to an hour, he excreted the food that was somehow contaminated. And then I did it again and he had no more pain. Usually, if someone gets glutenized and it's bad enough, especially if they have full blown celiac disease, which is autoimmune, it's not an allergy, it's an autoimmune condition. Um, he will be in pain for maybe like 2 weeks or so, like excruciating pain, you know? Yeah. You know what will help him, Adam? If you let him take a very warm, like however warm he can be comfortable in, a very warm Epsom salt soak, with some sea salt in there. And then when he's done with that, use a heating pad on his belly. That will help so, so much with that pain. It helps a lot. My son says that when I do that for him, even without the pressure points, it helps him feel so much better. I'll tell you the pressure point right now, and you can do some research, Adam, and see if this will help him. I hope it helps him. I hate when babies are hurting. It's in the legs. It is the stomach 36 point and 37. Hold on. ST36. Um, you could use ST36, ST37. And then another thing that I used for him, let me see. Uh, let me see. ST43 all the way down to 45. Yeah. So if he's still kind of like feeling a little bit icky and whatnot, those points help pretty immediately. And you have to give it enough pressure with your thumb and kind of just in a circular clockwise motion. That helps a lot. That helps a lot. Like night and day type of difference. My daughter was just diagnosed with lupus. That's autoimmune disorder. She's 33. They say that, and I know this is going to make you feel some kind of way, Lisa, but maybe you can pass this information along to her and she can find a way to go into permanent remission. They say that women who develop lupus are women who have been in situations like prolonged exposure to domestic strife, either through childhood, relationships, whatever it is. It does something. I believe lupus has a lot to do with sacral chakra fracturing. A lot of the autoimmune conditions we have are chakra injuries that have been sustained and remain uncorrected for prolonged periods. And it becomes this thing where it affects the genetic expression, the genetic code expression, which then becomes things like autoimmune conditions and all sorts of like this is my jam, yo. This is shit that makes me just like, I could talk hours on this. But you might want to talk to her about that and she can do there's a lot of studies and whatnot that already exist. These are not hokey pokey studies. These are actual studies by scientific doctors and whatnot that show this causal relationship between lupus specifically and domestic violence, whether it's emotional, verbal, physical, that type of thing. So definitely worth looking into. Um, Definitely worth looking into. So I was told that I have lupus when I was a child. If I'm not very careful about my energy, I start to develop symptoms that are very much like lupus. Yeah, but I was told by the doctor and they wanted to do a battery of tests to confirm that I have lupus because I had the butterfly rash on my face along with all the other symptoms. And my father was offended that the doctor would say there was something wrong with his daughter. So he told her she deserved to lose her license and then took me out of the doctor's office and said I just needed a nap. Didn't take me to get any other further testing. So when I had more issues towards my adulthood, um, and I had asked the doctors about this, they disregarded it. And so I'm just like, whatever. Yeah, they say that lupus is actually very hard to diagnose, that there's a lot of misdiagnosis, a lot of false negatives for lupus. I'm kind of just like, listen, as long as I don't have the symptoms, that means I am doing what I need to do to remain healthy, and that's what's important to me. I don't need the official title. Like my son has celiac disease, like full on celiac disease, but he doesn't have the official title because they wanted me to feed him gluten for 3 weeks. Are you fucking serious? So that they could have a more accurate biopsy, which the only solution is to not eat gluten. Why the hell am I going to feed him gluten for 3 weeks? She said I had to give him gluten every single meal, 3 times a day, gluten every day for 3 weeks in order to get a more accurate biopsy result. And even with that, she said it's like a 60% accuracy at that time. And I was like, I'm good. Fuck that. Are you kidding me? I will just not feed him gluten. How about that? So, long story short, um, I have suspected lupus, but whenever I start to develop certain types of symptoms, I do a lot of energetic work on myself and I just assume I go back into remission. Oh, fuck. Girl, book her a session with me. Let's see what the fuck we can do with her. $2,000 a month. Are y'all fucking kidding me? Whoo. Okay, let me know. Is she open to the work I do? I've been able to have a pretty profound effect on some people. And if she's open, I can't guarantee anything and I have to be careful in the way I publicly present it, obviously. I don't want to be a Dr. Sebi, despite the fact that I actually, a lot of my clients that I help with their physiological struggles, um, out of gratitude, they often share medical records and whatnot with me. And um, they write these testimonials that I don't post just because I want to give them their privacy. And, you know, it's just one of those things. 100% of what we experience in pathology is rooted in energetic imbalance. 100% of it. If it's allowed to go too long, it becomes a physiological condition. Say you have pooled energy because you fractured a chakra or whatever, right? You're pooling energy in one area. And that area, that energy is left to pool for prolonged periods. That's like a radioactive type of energy. It's like radioactive. It's outside of its containment unit. It's outside of the pathways that are shielding the rest of the physical body. So now it's radiating that area. What is cancer? The failure of the proper apoptosis expression. What's apoptosis? Life cycle of a cell. It's the death program. It instructs a cell when to die. What's cancer? Failure of apoptosis. It's now growing wildly. You correct that? Did you know that some people can reach a frequency that is comparable to cavitation frequencies? You guys know what cavitation is? It's when you use high frequencies and you run this node across the surface of the body and it bursts the fat cell. And that adipose tissue can be reabsorbed and excreted. Body contouring. Some people have the capacity to reach those kind of levels. You can use it for body contouring. You can use it to clear lymph nodes. You can use it for a lot of shit. A lot of shit. A lot of shit. You can use it to shrink tumors, theoretically, hypothetically, once upon a time. Just saying. I think I've said too much. It's time for me to go. I hope you guys have enjoyed this talk. For my members, I'll see if I can go ahead and do a private live stream for you guys. It's a lot of shit that I'm not allowed to say publicly, unfortunately. Unfortunately. And, it's a lot of people that could benefit from that type of information. A lot of people. Mm. I have to play within the rules until I'm in a position to say, fuck those rules. Soon, soon. And then you guys will be able to know more. If you want to know more now, you can just go to my freaking my ministry page, the soulsanctuary.love, or go to soulworksynergistics.com and look for the Soul Sanctuary in there. It's kind of right near the top. And that will take you to my ministry page. And when you sign up for a recurring contribution, and because I'm now an actual church, that's a tax deduction. So when you sign up for the recurring contribution to support my ministry and outreach program, one of the benefits is you get to access the actual sanctuary, which is a place where I talk very, very openly about so many different things. We come together at least once a week, and depending on the tier of your chosen recurring contribution, you get access to more areas within the sanctuary. And yes, they are tax deductible. From the observer all the way up to the ascension, they are all tax deductible tiers of recurring contribution. This is not a membership. This is a ministry, and we go out of our way. At my church, we go out of our way to make sure that we support you in whatever way we can. So, thank you, Moonrock. Thank you for that. I'm going to go ahead and pin Moonrock's comment. If y'all can go to Soulwork Synergistics, that would be amazing. And yeah, I'll be sharing more about the different projects that we have going on. I am on fire to get this completely started. If you want to join my church, I'm so serious right now. Part of my statement of faith, I will read it to you. And maybe you can understand the gravity of my church. All right. What I believe. Oh my God, it deleted it again. These bastards. Motherfuckers. Okay. That's why I saved it in multiple documents. My laptop keeps deleting this specific portion of what we believe. Every human being contains within them a divine spark of God, the Creator, and thus the human body is a living temple made in a mirrored perfection of the Creator. The introduction into this divine living temple of medical substances containing gene altering components, aborted fetal cells of humans and any other animals, along with medical practices that alter the normal form, efficiency, or healthy function of the human body's original design, aka covering your mouth and nose to alter the composition of that carbon oxygen ratio. Is in direct violation of our beliefs, and therefore we are protected legally. As a church, this is what we believe. And if you believe that too, come join my church. Be part of our ministry. Join me for private conversations that can help us to better empower ourselves within our personal journey, within the collective whole, help us to reach higher levels of understanding with greater depth of clarity in what our purpose is and how we can change the world. One decision at a time. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. And yeah, I 100% believe that statement. Every one of us are a living temple made in perfect design by Creator itself. I absolutely believe that. That's not some fictitious bullshit I made up just to be able to exempt people. Apparently, as a minister, I'm an ordained minister. Um, I have the capacity as the head of my church to write for my ministry, people who are members of my ministry, um, exemptions, religious exemptions from mandates that violate your right to religious freedom. I fucking love the way this is going. I love, love, love the way this is going. If you live in a state where they still honor religious exemptions, something to consider. It's definitely something to consider. Quite a few states have gotten rid of religious exemptions. If you still live in one and you need one, you should probably consider being part of my ministry, being a member of my church. And in doing that, those are your beliefs. That's part of our bylaws. This is an established thing. It's federally recognized by the IRS. Life is going to change very quickly for us in the most beautiful way possible. Let it change for you too. Let it be something more empowering. Allow yourself to become part of things that grow you rather than further shrink you. It's just time. I can't force you to. You have to choose it yourself. And if you choose it, I'm here to support you. That's all I really ever wanted, was to support people who are ready. So please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. I will see you guys again very soon. Members, in a little bit, I'm going to see what my schedule is, but in a little bit, go ahead and go into our ministry, private ministry area. And if you see the announcements, you'll see there if I'm going to go live later today. Okay. So I'll see you guys very soon. Bye, everyone.